What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in a building with another banger. Now, first things first, before we go ahead and get started, I gotta say thank God for another day and another opportunity. Now, as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen, today I'm gonna be bringing y'all a very special build today. Now, I'm going to be naming it the Endgame Lockdown because this is definitely the very best small forward that you can make ending off NBA 2K23 going into 2K24. Now, let me know down below, is cross-gen a certified W for all of you who are copying NBA 2K24? Let me know down below also your gamer tag, and I'll definitely be sure to add y'all to be running next 2K. But this build is actually going to be coming out today to a Catfish 3 and D wing. Now we're going to be able to get rim protecting takeover, sharpshooting, glass cleaning, as well as lockdown. Now when it comes down to our badges, as of season 8, we'll be able to get anywhere from 76 to 84. And this is going to be one of the most toxic 6'9 builds that you can possibly make. Now when it comes down to the animations, we're going to be able to get pro contact dunks as well as dribbling ability. And as far as when it comes down to the defensive stats, these are the best that you can possibly ask for, especially to go overpowered with contact dunks. Now as far as when it comes down to the attributes, we're going to be able to reach a 100+ when it comes down to our 3-point shot, interior and perimeter defense, block, steal, offensive and defensive rebound with a 90+ strength as well as stamina. Now look, thank you to those of y'all who are tuning in for the very first time. And if so, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Smash that like button. Turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family. And last but definitely not least, comment down TG for thank God and where you're tuning in from. And I most definitely will be sure to get back to you with a response. So as you can see from the gameplay, this build is definitely going to shine on the defensive end. And as far as when it comes down to the offensive, we're going to be able to apply some pressure. So let's go ahead and get started by putting this build under the small forward position. Moving on to when it comes down to the body settings, this is going to be one of the most crucial factors. So when it comes down to our height today, go 2 ticks up to 6'9". As for the weight, go 1 tick up to 219. And then for that wingspan, I'm going to go with 7'4". Now the body shape, it comes down to your own preference and liking. And if you want to be more of a catfish, you can even go with slight or compact. Now from here, let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of the attributes. And the first area that I do want to hit on is going to be the physicals. Now when it comes down to our speed, I'm going to go with an 80. As for when it comes down to the acceleration, go with the 75. Moving on to the strength, I'm going to go with an 86. And then as for when it comes down to that vertical, go with the threshold of a 75. And then for that stamina, I'm going to go with an 89. Now do take into consideration the +4 that we get from our physicals, as well as the gem rat badge, and also the additional 4 to 5 that you get from buying your own boost. Now moving on to the defensive end, I'm going to go with an 89 when it comes down to the defensive rebound. As for the offensive, I'm going to go with the 94. And then moving on to when it comes down to our block, put this all the way up to an 89. Now as for the steal, I'm going to go with an 85 as well. And then finally, we're going to be able to move that perimeter defense up to an 87. Now to wrap everything up on the defensive end, go with an 84 for the interior. And right there, we get a total of 31 badges. Now my favorites are Box Out Beastone Hall of Fame, Menace, Silver Post Lockdown, and Glove. Then we get Challenger, Clamps, and Interceptor with Chase Down Artist. And then for tier 3, I like Anchor with Rebound Chaser, and Brick Wall and Pogo Stick are pretty overpowered as well. Now moving on to the playmaking, go with the pass accuracy of a 75. As for when it comes down to the ball handle, I'm going to go with the 62. And then moving on to the speed with ball, put this to a 67. And right there, we're going to be able to get a total of 12 badges. Now I think we have everything more and needed to be effective out of this area. I like Ankle Breaker with Hyperdrive. Then we do get Break Starter on the silver tier, Special Delivery. And then also we get Quick for Step Steal with Bailout. Now Vice Grip and Needle Threader are definitely important for the rec. As far as for the rest of these badges, I think this is going to be a nice setup moving forward. Now as for the shooting, I'm going to go with the 3-point shot up to an 85. And as for that mid-range shot, put this up to a 71. And then for that free throw, go with the 62. Now for the 19 badges that we did unlock, I like Amped and MIDI Magician. From there we get Hall of Fame Space Creator with Volume Shooter, Silver Agent 3 with Green Machine, then we get Guard Up, and then for tier 3, my favorite is going to be Limitless Range. Now so far we're looking pretty good, but to wrap everything up on the defensive end, go ahead and put that driving dunk up to an 84. And right there we're going to be able to get even more badges if you follow along. Go with the 67 for the driving layup. And then moving on to when it comes down to the close shot, you have the option to get more badges if you do decide to go ahead and put this up to a 59. Now right there we get 10 when it comes down to the finishing. Now I like Back Down Punisher with Pro Touch, Slithery, and then for tier 2 we get Aerial Wizard, Fearless Finisher, and Limitless Takeoff. Now if you add extra badges towards this build, Bully and Posterizer are definitely going to be able to get equipped at the same time. It really comes down to your badge layout and how you go about adding extra badges from each season in my career. But do take into consideration the +4 that you get from buying your own boost, the Gym Rat badge, and additionally the boost that we get from playing better throughout each game. Now if you run with a teammate that has on Hall of Fame Floor General, that's another +4. And then the +10 from 2 separate takeovers and the boost that we do get from equipping certain gear. Now for the takeovers we get the Sharpshooting, Lockdown, Rim Protecting, and Glass Cleaning. Now to get the most out of this build first, of course, I'm going to go with Limitless Range. The second one, I'm going to say Rim Protecting, Paint Intimidation, or you can go with See the Future Takeover. Now to be the best overall for this build, I'm going to say that Limitless Range and Paint Intimidation is the perfect combo for anybody that's going to use this build. Now let's go ahead and check out the name to make sure that we made everything correctly. And if you followed along every single step of the way, we should be getting these 3 comparisons. And as y'all can see together, we have created a 3D wing, which I decided to name the Endgame Lockdown. Now let me know down below your thoughts and opinion on this build. Did you recreate it exactly how I brought it to y'all, or go about it in a different way? Now from here, let's go ahead and check out the full potential, and do take into consideration all of the boosts that I previously mentioned, just to give y'all an idea of what this build is going to be able to do. Now let's go ahead and wrap everything up with a breakdown of the badges. Now for the finishing, I'm going to go with Pro Touch on Bronze, Fearless Finisher, Silver Limitless Takeoff with Slithery, and then Gold Core Aerial Wizard. And now I think this badge opens up the floor a lot, especially when running 5v5 in the rec. And if you want to, there's definitely other badges that you can go with, but do take into consideration, if you make this build, throwing extra badges to unlock Bully and then equipping Posterizer at the same time. Now when it comes down to the shooting, I'm going to go ahead and put on Green Machine on Bronze, Silver Agent 3, Core, Limitless Range, with Gold Guard Up, Amped, and then Hall of Fame Space Creator. Now this is going to be the selection of jump shots that we're actually able to get, and I think we have everything more and needed to be effective with this area. Now other badges that I like are going to be Volume Shooter, MIDI Magician, and even Blinders. Now as far as when it comes down to the playmaking, I'm going to go with Ankle Breaker on Bronze, Mismatch Expert, Quick First Step, Core, Bailout, with Silver Hyperdrive, Break Starter, and then Gold, Special Delivery. Now other ones that I'm looking at are going to be Vice Grip. Even if you wanted to, I really do like Needle Threader, and that's just going to be about it for the playmaking. Now for the defensive end, we have a lot of purple, but look, I'm going to go with Silver Anchor, Clamps Interceptor with Glove, then I like Gold Core, Rebound Chaser, Hall of Fame Chase Down Artist, Box Out Beast, and Menace. Now you can definitely throw into consideration Challenger, possibly Brick Wall, and other than that, I think we have the perfect selection of badges for each area. Now I just want to say thank God for another day and another opportunity, King Jesus. God bless y'all, and with all that being said, if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family, and last but definitely not least, comment down TG for thank God and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with a response. And with all that being said though, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.